Michael, it's illegal to operate a nuclear reactor in Australia. Please give our viewers a message.
Well, the radical left in Australia and in many other parts of the world manipulated people's emotions. They led people to think that nuclear power plants are the same as nuclear weapons. It's obviously ridiculous. We know from every major peer-reviewed study that nuclear energy is the safest way to produce electricity. Even the worst accidents, we see that even when some radiation escapes, it's just not very much and it's not very harmful. By contrast, 6 million people's lives every year are shortened by breathing the smoke from burning wood and dung and coal. So Australia is sort of last to the nuclear party. I do think that nuclear will arrive in Australia sooner rather than later. Australia is a part of the global economy, and we're seeing a significant energy crisis. But more than that, nuclear provides energy security. It provides national security. Even Japan, which was very afraid of nuclear after the Fukushima accident in 2011, is returning to nuclear because it needs nuclear in order to have a stable electricity supply. But electricity and energy prices are also rising in Australia. You're somewhat protected from it because you have significant coal reserves, but there is simply no way that the Australian government in the future will allow heavy dependency on Chinese-made solar panels. Frankly, it's unethical because they're being made by Muslims who are incarcerated in concentration camps.
But we're the only G20 country without nuclear power. We are the only G20 country without nuclear power. Let me just ask you this. 583 coal-fired power stations are under construction or planned in China, a stack of them in India, Indonesia, Turkey, Vietnam, Japan, none in Australia, most of them using Australian coal. What's wrong with a high-efficiency, low-emission coal-fired power station? They won't allow them to build them here, but what's wrong with that?
I mean, the fact is that, all around the world, I think most people, when you really look at these different energy sources, we can see that nuclear is sort of the king of all power sources. It produces reliable, low-cost electricity without any air or water pollution. Natural gas is second best. It does produce some emissions and some pollution, but half as much as coal. But if you need reliable electricity, coal has been the way that countries have traditionally developed it. I think if Australia is in a position where it has to choose between renewables and coal, it's going to need a lot of coal in order to keep the lights on and prevent its economy from going into recession due to high electricity prices.
Well, let's just come to this.
Australia also has substantial gas reserves. And if you can tap your gas reserves, that's also beneficial.